Welcome to SmartPathSG, where every student can learn, grow, and succeed. Welcome. This video will provide comprehensive guidance on how to ace English Oral, stimulus-based conversation using real PSLE question for the year 2015, Day 1. During preparation, observe the flyer carefully so that you can link back to the stimulus when answering questions. Note that the event is Spin-a-Tale Sundays. It targets children aged 5 to 12. The activity is about learning to tell stories in interesting ways. It is a December weekend highlight. The illustration shows a storyteller reading The Hare and the Tortoise. Question 1 asks if you would be interested in this weekend activity and why. There is no right or wrong answer as long as you can elaborate sound reasoning. Let's first look at a yes answer. Yes, I would definitely be interested in attending Spin-a-Tale Sundays. One reason is that I enjoy listening to stories, and learning how to tell them well is a skill I have always wanted to develop. The flyer says the stories are taught by experienced storytellers, so I think I would pick up useful techniques, like using different voices or facial expressions to bring a story to life. Also, since it is held on Sundays in December, it fits perfectly into the school holidays when I have more free time. I think activities like these are more meaningful than just watching television at home. They allow children to be creative and imaginative, and the skills I learn, like speaking confidently in front of others, would even help me in school. It's perfectly okay to say you are not interested. Here is an example. No, I do not think this activity would appeal to me personally, though I can see why others might enjoy it. I noticed that Spin-a-Tale Sundays is meant for children from 5 to 12 years old, and as a P6 student, I feel I am on the older end of that range and might prefer activities that are more challenging. I would rather spend my December holidays doing something like photography or coding workshops where I can learn a new technical skill. That said, I think younger children, especially those who are shy or lack confidence in speaking, would benefit greatly from learning storytelling from experienced performers. Question 2. Do you have enough time to relax at weekends? Why or why not? Let's first understand this question. This is a personal opinion and experience question. The conversation moves from the picture to your own life, seeking genuine, specific reasons and honest reflection. There is no right or wrong answer. What matters is how well you explain and elaborate. Here is a sample answer. I feel that I generally have enough time to relax over the weekends, though it depends on the week. On most Saturdays, my mornings are taken up by tuition classes for mathematics and science, but by the afternoon, my parents allow me to have free time. I usually spend it reading, cycling at the park near my home, or just resting, which helps me recharge before the school week starts again. I think relaxation is important because when I am well rested, I focus better during lessons. However, I do feel the pressure builds up closer to examinations, when even weekends become quite packed with revision. So while I would say I have enough time to relax most weekends, it is not always the case throughout the whole year. Alternatively, this sample answer expresses that a P6 student's weekend is often packed with tuition and revision. I do not feel I have enough time to relax at weekends. As a P6 student, my weekends are quite packed. On Saturdays, I have Chinese tuition in the morning and mathematics tuition in the afternoon. On Sundays, I usually spend several hours doing revision or completing worksheets my teachers have assigned. By the time I am done, it is already evening, and I need to prepare for the school week ahead. I do wish I had more time to simply do nothing, even just reading a storybook or playing at the playground, because I sometimes feel mentally tired and need a proper break to recharge. I think a good balance between study and rest would actually make me a more effective learner. The examiner will likely follow up. Prepare to discuss questions such as, what do you usually do to relax? Your response should name 1 or 2 specific activities and explain why they help you relax. If asked, do you think children today have too much pressure? Give a balanced view. Acknowledge that pressure exists, but also suggest that some pressure can be healthy. If asked, what would you do if you had a completely free weekend? This is your chance to show personality. Be specific and enthusiastic about your answer. If asked, how do your parents feel about your weekend schedule? Show that you can discuss family perspectives thoughtfully and with maturity. Your goal is to ensure a sustained, elaborated, and thoughtful conversation that earns top marks. Now let's review some useful vocabulary and phrases for such questions. To express your point, use opening phrases like, personally I feel that, or to be honest, to show that you are confident and ready to state your position immediately. To explain and elaborate, use linking phrases like, one reason is that, or for instance, to maintain a well-structured conversation. To show balance or nuance, avoid giving extreme answers like, yes, always, or no, never. Instead, use phrases like, however, it is not always the case, or it really depends on. This demonstrates thoughtful reflection, a key trait the examiners look for. Finally, use sophisticated words related to the specific topic being discussed. Instead of tired, say you feel mental fatigue. Don't just say you rest. Say you unwind or recharge. Using words like packed schedule and strike a balance immediately signals to the examiner that you have a rich vocabulary, helping you secure top language marks. Question 3. If you have the chance to try something new at weekends, what would you do? Why? Notice the logical flow of the entire conversation. It progresses from the picture stimulus to your own life experience and now to your personal aspirations. The examiner is subtly checking. Can you go beyond 1 or 2 simple sentences and truly engage, demonstrating depth and maturity? Can you imagine and express a personal goal convincingly? Can you justify your choice with thoughtful, developed reasons, rather than just saying, "It looks fun"? Can you sustain the conversation with enthusiasm and personality? Can you show creativity and individuality, or are you offering a safe, generic answer? Your answer should show not only what you want to try, but why it matters to your growth. Next, we will show 3 model answers for different interests. Sample answer A suggests trying a creative or performing arts activity. If I had the chance to try something completely new this weekend, I would love to attend a drama or storytelling workshop, something like the spin-a-tale activity in the picture, actually. I have always been a fairly quiet person, and although I enjoy reading stories, I have never tried performing or telling one out loud to an audience. I think it would push me out of my comfort zone in a good way. Learning how to use my voice, my expressions, and even my body language to bring a story to life sounds both challenging and exciting. More importantly, I feel that being a confident speaker is a skill that will serve me well beyond primary school, in interviews, presentations, and even just in everyday conversations. So it would not just be fun, it would be genuinely useful. Sample answer B suggests an outdoor physical activity. I would try kayaking for the first time. I live in Singapore, and we are surrounded by water, yet I have never actually been out on the sea or a reservoir in a kayak. I think there is something freeing about being on the water, away from screens and textbooks, that really appeals to me, especially after such a busy school week. I imagine it would be physically demanding but also incredibly calming at the same time. Beyond the experience itself, I think trying something physically challenging teaches you resilience. You have to keep paddling even when your arms feel tired, and that kind of determination is something I want to build in myself. I would probably sign up for a beginner's session at one of the water sports centers here. Sample answer C suggests a creative, hands-on skill. I would try pottery or clay sculpting. I have seen videos of people working with clay on a spinning wheel, and it looks both meditative and creative at the same time. As a P6 student, most of my time is spent sitting at a desk writing or typing, so using my hands to actually make something physical would feel like a very different and refreshing experience. I think there's also something satisfying about creating an object you can hold and keep, unlike an essay or a worksheet, which gets marked and filed away. I believe trying new crafts also develops patience and attention to detail, which are qualities that are useful in all areas of life, not just art. The examiner will likely ask some follow-up questions, such as, "Why have you not tried this before?" The best response is an honest one. You can explain it by citing a lack of time, lack of opportunity, or simply that you've never thought about it until this moment. If asked, "Do you think it is important to try new things? Why?" Your answer should be a resounding yes, but the elaboration is key. Talk about themes of personal growth, the importance of breaking routine, or the excitement of discovering hidden talents. If asked, "Would you encourage your friends to try new things too?" Again, say yes. Frame your answer in terms of shared experiences, or the value of trying new things together to deepen friendships. If asked, "What if you tried it and did not enjoy it?" This is a crucial moment to show real maturity. The ideal response is one that highlights the value of the attempt itself. You should convey that the experience is still positive because you gained knowledge. For example, "That is fine too, at least I would know," and trying itself is the valuable part. Your goal is to demonstrate that you are capable of sustained, mature reflection, which helps secure top marks. Now let's review useful vocabulary and phrases for such aspiration-based questions. To introduce your choice, start with clear phrases like, "If I had the opportunity," or "Without hesitation, I would." These establish your position and demonstrate confidence to the examiner. To explain your reasons, use phrases such as, "This appeals to me because," or "Beyond just the enjoyment, I think." These signal that you are moving from simply naming your choice to providing a structured and thoughtful justification. To elaborate and add depth, use expansive language like, "I imagine it would be," or "What excites me most is the idea of." These phrases help you demonstrate imaginative thought beyond a simple, factual answer. Finally, incorporate sophisticated words relevant to trying new things. Use phrases like "broaden my horizons" or "step out of my comfort zone." Discussing skills in terms of "cultivate resilience" or "a meaningful experience" immediately signals a rich vocabulary, which is critical for top language scores. In English Oral SBC, there is usually no correct answer. Instead, examiners are looking for conversational coherence, depth, and maturity. We summarize here 4 actionable strategies. Number 1, show depth and avoid extremes. Avoid simple yes, always, or no, never responses. Instead, demonstrate thoughtful reflection by qualifying your answers. Use phrases like, it depends on the time of the year, or most weekends I do, but during exam periods. This nuance signals to the examiner that you are a mature thinker. Number 2, use specific, believable details. Make your response real and memorable by including specific details. Instead of just saying you are busy, mention specific tuition subjects like maths and Chinese, or specific activities like read or cycle on Sunday evenings. These details make your story authentic. Number 3, connect back to the picture. Remember, the whole exam is a conversation flowing from the initial stimulus. You earn bonus points by linking your answer back to the spin-a-tail activity, for instance. That is actually why an activity like Spin-a-Tail Sundays caught my eye. It looks like a fun way to use weekend time meaningfully. Number 4, show awareness beyond yourself. Demonstrate maturity by acknowledging perspectives beyond your own experience. You can mention how you think other students feel, such as, many P6 students in Singapore feel the same way about exam pressure. This shows the examiner you are capable of broader reflection, not just focusing on yourself. Now a practical summary of the do's and don'ts for SBC. First, let's look at what to avoid. Avoid give a vague answer that could apply to any picture. Avoid being too brief, such as simply saying, yes, because it is fun. Avoid poor structure, such as starting your sentence with, because. Always state your point first, then follow up with the explanation. Avoid saying, I don't know. Always try to answer and elaborate. Lastly, avoid rushing or trailing off at the end of your sentences. Now, for what to do, wherever relevant, refer directly to the stimulus and mention specific details, such as experienced storytellers, or the target age group of 5 to 12 years old. Always give at least 2 reasons, with detailed explanations. Use personal experience to ground your response. For example, I remember when I had to present in class. Acknowledge the other perspective. This shows maturity to the examiner. Finally, maintain eye contact and speak at a steady, controlled pace. An important yet often missed aspect of SBC is conversational coherence. Your answers should form a single, flowing conversation. For example, for question 1, you answer that you would be interested in the storytelling activity because it builds confidence. For question 2, you link this to your current life by saying you do not always have time to relax because your weekends are quite packed with tuition and revision. For question 3, you circle back to question 1 by saying, that is actually what drew me to the activity in the picture. It is both relaxing and something I have never done before. By linking your answers in this way, you demonstrate that you are an engaged speaker capable of coherent reflection, which is what earns you top marks. Lastly, this is a mental checklist to run through during the exam itself to ensure you cover all the criteria that lead to a top score. Have you clearly stated your stance, whether it is a yes, a no, or an appropriately nuanced it depends? Have you provided at least 2 distinct reasons and explained them in detail? Is your answer grounded in a specific personal example to make it believable and authentic? Have you avoided extreme, simple views, demonstrating thoughtful reflection instead? Have you made an effort to naturally link your current answer back to the picture or the previous question to maintain conversational flow? Does your response show self-awareness or reflection on the topic? Have you used vivid or imaginative language to show enthusiasm and personality? Are you speaking in complete sentences and using good vocabulary? Are you maintaining eye contact with the examiner? By mentally ticking off these points, you ensure your answers are well-structured, thoughtful, and engaging, maximizing your chances for success. Thanks for watching. Head over to SmartPathSG.com to play our free PSLE practice game, or join our community for more tips and resources. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week.